Hey guys, Ray from BougeRV.com. So I thought I'd come back and give you an update on this fridge freezer that I reviewed last summer. Now that it's got a full year under its belt. I used it last summer to keep a lot of my drinks and stuff cold and to be a secondary fridge for the one in the RV. And over the winter I didn't use it too much, but occasionally I did use it to defrost large pieces of meat. A couple times I used it to defrost a turkey safely for Christmas, stuff like that. And I've been using it this summer again for drinks and that. So I thought what I'd do is give it a test, see how its capacity is doing and seeing if it's still working well as a fridge and a freezer. First test I'm going to do is plug it into my Bluetti portable power station. There's two ways to power this thing. One way is to use a DC plug, like a cigarette lighter plug, and the other is to use a traditional household outlet plug with an adapter there. So I'm going to use, first test, we're going to plug it into the Bluetti and see how long it can run the fridge for before it's basically out of juice. The Bluetti has a capacity of around, when it's going through the 12 volt circuitry, maybe 1800 watt hours. And then after that, what we'll do is we'll test the freezer portion, and I'll plug it in here to the camper, and we'll see, kind of put it on overnight and see how it's freezing function. I'll put a big, huge a jug of water in there and see if it can freeze it overnight, and then we'll see how many watt hours it uses to do that. And maybe pull the covers, have a look inside, see the general condition of it. So let's start. Hey guys, Ray from BougeRV. So I'm back with a kind of a 2-for-1 test here. I'm going to test this fridge that I've had for a year. It's a fridge freezer from a company called BougeRV. Sent it out for review last summer. I reviewed it, and then at the end of the summer I came back with an update. So I thought I'd do another test with it involving the Bluetti AC200P that I reviewed earlier in the summer. And what I want to do is see how long this box will run powering this fridge, and at the same time this will give me a chance to kind of see how this fridge is working now that I've had it a year or so. So I've set it up here, and I'm going to set it up for 34 degrees on the setting here. I'm going to load it with some soda, and then here I'm going to run it out of the DC outlet because that's the most efficient. This battery is charged up 100%. We'll set a phone timer and we'll see how long it takes to run this completely down, powering this fridge, and at the same time see how the performance of the fridge goes. So I'll wait till it gets down to its temperature that'll read out around 34 degrees here and see if that's actually accurate on the inside of the fridge. Let's check the current draw right now. This thing puts out 13.4 volts, 81 watts, 6 amps it's currently drawing. Now the fridge is going to run pretty hard until it can get down to temperature, and once it gets down to temperature it'll probably cycle. In my original test I found this thing averaged once it got to temperature around 30 watts or so to maintain. Now we're in summer here. The next few days we're going to have highs somewhere between 70 and 80 and lows maybe 50 or 60. So it should be a decent summer test for it. Okay, checking in 24 hours later, and on the box we're down to 38%. And fridge has been cooling pretty good. It's just 34 inside. The pops are nice and cool. I tried it with my digital infrared gun and it's approximately the same, so it's just above freezing in there. The pops are nice and cool. So we'll let this go and see how much longer we can run it for before we've exhausted the battery in the Bluetti here. Next day now, 49 hours, 11 minutes of run time, and we're down to about 10%. So I'll kind of cut off the test here. I could probably get another 2 to 4 hours out of that. So but definitely you can get 2 full days, summer days, running this unit here. Let's take this now and see if the freezer is working properly on it. So I'll put her down to -4. Fahrenheit and see if we can freeze stuff. Let's do a quick check with the thermometer here, and looks like 52.9 Fahrenheit and 37.4 Fahrenheit. So this thing is kind of split into two. You can use that as a freezer, and then this is supposed to stay kind of fridge cool. So I'm going to take the temperature down and freeze some water in this side. I'll put a jug of water in there, and I'm taking this down right to the lowest it can go. I think it was -4 Fahrenheit is its lowest setting. There we go. Okay, so I'll time how long it takes to go from around freezing all the way down to -4, and also how long it takes to freeze the water. Okay, so a little over 2 hours. Thought I'd check back, see how it's going. It looks like it's at 3 degrees Fahrenheit, even though I have it set to -4. It seems to have kind of stopped there. It's not really going down very fast anymore. Let's check on the state of things inside the box. There we are. I put this side in down there. Oops. So it looks like the freezer is at 7.4 Fahrenheit, and then this side over here is at 21 Fahrenheit. So definitely we're hitting freezing temperatures. Let's just check the water here. Yeah, it's not fully frozen or anything, but it's on its way. Do another temperature test with an IR gun, see what it is at the bottom there. So this one's showing -4, 0, -2. Let's check over here. 33. So that's what you would expect. This would be the deep freeze section, and this would be kind of keeping more like a refrigerator section here. I'm going to do one more test with the freezer and take this big jug of water in there. Hopefully it doesn't burst. I left some air, space for air, and I'm going to leave that in overnight. And I'm going to keep this on its lowest setting here, -4. And we'll come back in the morning and see if that's frozen it. You can see this actually, with the lid open, it dropped from 3 to 1, so I don't know how accurate that is or where its temperature sensor is. Anyway, the thing is working as a fridge and freezing quite well still. So we'll come back tomorrow morning and see how my test went. And just for kicks, I'll use my kilowatt meter on it, and we'll see how many watt hours it consumes doing that job overnight. Right now it looks to be drawing about 39 watts. Okay, so we're next morning now, probably about 16 to 18 hours later. We're showing 1 degree Fahrenheit on this meter here, and let's see how many watt hours we've used. 0.94 kilowatt hours, so about 940 watt hours. That would be equal to maybe one full lithium battery that's a 100 amp hour battery, or comparable to 2 lead acid batteries that you would have in your RV. So used a fair amount, but it had to go and freeze that bottle, and then go down and keep it at a very low temperature. So it probably uses more than in the fridge option. So let's just pull the cover and see how it's done. Here we go. Oh yeah, that is frozen solid block of ice on that. Also had the little bottle there. That's frozen solid. See, on this side I had some just kind of like grapefruit juice. They're actually frozen too, or really slushy. Get some temperature readings here. Let's see, 3 degrees, 0 degrees. This side right around 30, 31. So, seems to be doing the job. Just pop the cover and have a quick look inside. See how it's doing after a year. So I've basically kept this outside. I didn't keep it in the trailer. I kept it under the trailer and in the winter under my skirting. No problems there. And the fan still seems to be running fairly quiet. Not making any racket or anything. So all appears to be in good shape. Give you a look at the seal here. That was one of the weaker points I thought on this fridge. This has a thin foam seal, but still seems to be in okay shape. Also, I wasn't a big fan of this latch, just a plastic latch, but seems to still be operational, hasn't broken or anything, so case is still in good shape. Well, there you go. Hope you found that longer term update useful if you're shopping around for a fridge freezer. This one is now branded as the BougeRV. It's available on their website, or of course it's also available on Amazon. I'll have links in the description or on the blog post. Until next time, Ray from loveyourrv.com. Thanks for watching, everyone. Really appreciate it. Cheers, folks.